Hey everybody.
Hello.
I think we're live. Yeah, we are.
So.
Man, how many there's 63 people in here already. We just started.
Oh man. What a bunch of losers.
Hey, Adventures in Dirt is in here. We just did a live stream with Ken a few weeks ago and had an amazing time. Hopefully we don't repeat ourselves too much. Look at all these names I recognize from the comments of the videos. So Eddie and I, we did a live stream in the springtime, kind of celebrating spring, and that we were going to be able to start posting every week, every Friday. And now, unfortunately, we're in the fall, which means we're going to be posting every other week, every other Friday. And the whole reason for that, I could probably make videos like down here every week. But what I like to do is just try to load up on videos in the fall time. Like right now, I have enough videos, if posting every other week, to get us to the middle of January. And I'm hoping, you know, usually we get too much snow come early January. Hopefully I can build up enough videos to bring us through till May.
Got to go in hibernation mode.
Yeah. You'll have to apologize. We got spinning wheels all over the place, so hopefully we're not too choppy right now.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll close this window so that there. So everybody, let us know if ever you can hear us okay and we look okay, and we're not the video isn't stuttering or anything. Hey, a friend. Nice to see you here. I always enjoy reading your comments. So every other week from here until May. May's a long time from now, but we get the places that we like to go. There'll be like 3 feet in the 3 feet of snow up there, and we just can't get there. So is it lagging a little bit? All right. Eddie got his gun. Did you bring your gun?
Maybe.
Eddie's always got his gun.
What?
Okay, so we decided we did one of these in the spring, and we decided this time we're gonna really interact with the chat time, answer questions, talk with people as much as we can. I don't know what to do about the lag, guys. I apologize. This is what it is. Okay. So we have some things to talk about. We have some stuff to give away. We're going to be giving away stuff like every 15 minutes or so. We're going to try to keep this short to about an hour this time.
I have my doubts.
Yeah, last time it went like way over 2 hours, and I ended up going after the fact and kind of chopping it. But so Jacob, so we're going to jump right into answering questions. Jacob just asked, you guys explored caves in previous videos when it snowed. Any cave exploration planned for this winter?
That's possible.
It's
I
possible.
actually have a lead we've been talking about for a couple of weeks on a cave, but the directions are pretty vague.
Yeah,
I guess,
as they usually are.
Yeah, I mean, we always find stuff, but from what I've been told, it's extremely easy to miss. So I'm hoping I can sharpen down on that a little. Maybe have someone lead us out. I don't know yet, really.
Yeah,
be a good winter trip.
The cave that we went in last winter, I think it was last winter. If you saw the video, maybe you'll remember there was a pool of water that I was kind of detecting around. And we had said in the beginning of the video that we were pretty sure that that cave went for like 6 to 8 miles out the other side. Since that video posted, we were chatting more with the locals, and they were saying that there was an opening on the other side of the mountain. It was dynamited in like the 30s, but they said that if you go through that pool of water, like under the water, then there's more.
Wild.
which I never would have just done.
Yeah, I know.
But now,
instinctual dive.
now that we know that might be something to do. But we that was probably the first time I've ever been in a cave.
Yeah, me too.
And we got lots of comments kind of scolding us for not being equipped correctly, like no ropes, no helmets, no flashlights. No,
I don't even know how we'd go about going down there. I mean, we'd need like a rebreather or tanks.
I don't know how. Yeah, or
I
hold
mean,
our
we have
breath
no
a
idea
long
how
time.
far that. Yeah, right. I'm
So,
excited for this other cave, though. I mean, it would also be. It's too bad. 'Cause it would also be cool for like spring and summer, because legend has it they say there is ice in these caves year round.
Yeah,
Just always like these big ice, like icy walls and structured inside.
make a cool video regardless if
But
there's
yeah,
anything to find.
of course.
Nicholas Plays, are you doing any giveaways today? We have a few things to give away, and as soon as the clock hits 8:15 for us, which is in 10 minutes, we'll do one. Again, we have trivia questions pertaining to our past videos. So if you're a fan of the channel and you've been watching videos this year, at least, I don't think anything goes older than this year, then you'll have a chance to win. Yeah, so Tom Fuller says, you guys go on old roads and old sediment sites. Have you ever looked for actual historical maps showing those areas? Yes, sometimes I'll use those maps after the landowner says, hey, I've got something on our land. I'll hit those maps to see maybe how old it is, because if it's prior to the 1860 maps that we have access to, it's exciting. It means it's, before 1860. And I've only done this a few times, but at least around here, you go down to the town halls and they have property records that go way back to colonial times still. There'll be little plots with little squares that shows who owns what, which can be interesting too. It doesn't necessarily show roads and stuff, but it gives you
and like myths too from like the local library and stuff.
Yeah, we go a lot off of word of mouth and family stories and local myths and stuff, which has worked out pretty well so far. Let's see what else we got. That's a great question. We are a very unique situation, at least the way I find permissions, and that is my sole not purpose, but my goal is to make entertaining videos. So Eddie wasn't around this last hunt that we went on, but my buddy Mike, who you guys haven't met yet, but he's going to be in a few videos coming up. He and I were invited to she asked me not to say too much about it, but it's like a forever wild sanctuary piece of property. It's like 200 acres. And she invited us, and she wanted to keep everything, which was completely fine, because we got to go and film and make an interesting video, which you guys will see in probably a little bit over a month now. But a lot of the things like that, I always offer everything to landowners. And sometimes they keep everything, which is completely fine. And sometimes they don't care at all. Like, the farm, a lot of the big farm permissions we have.
Wasn't even interested.
Don't even care.
I tried showing the landowner there some of the stuff, and just, what is it? That's neat, okay.
So when asking permission, leading with, and by the way, everything we find you get to keep, is usually a pretty easy way to get permissions. And obviously not everybody is in that situation, but for us, it's that I was almost said the name of the town. I'm going to in Vermont. The last video with the marble quarry, it was his family land. He kept everything we found that day too. So it's always, it depends. It depends on the landowner. Yeah, Adventures in Dirt asked, have you guys ever returned an item to the family of something that you found? A lot of times they keep everything, but not always. It's maybe 50-50. So what do we got on time? We got 5 minutes to our next giveaway, or our first giveaway. Have you tried apps like Onyx Hunt? That's a great question. I've heard a lot about Onyx Hunt, and for a while it wasn't available on iPhone. And when I searched for it, it wasn't. But now I understand that it is, and I haven't I haven't tried it yet. It's an app that helps you find who owns
Oh, really?
property.
That's awesome.
We never really start
Wow,
from that
that's really
side
helpful.
though. Yeah, we always kind of start from the landowner's side as opposed to finding the land and then searching for the landowner. But from what I understand, that's a pretty good app for things like that.
Very good tactic. Way to approach it.
Chris digging Walcott, Vermont soon. I don't know where Walcott is, but if you got a spot for us, you can keep everything. Just let us know. We just want to film. What kind of pistol does Edwin carry in the wilderness? We talked about this in the live stream, so we'll talk about it again.
Well, my go-to is usually my Para 1911 and 45 ACP, but well, I paid a lot for it, and it's definitely my fave. So sometimes I don't, if we're four-wheeling, I don't want to dirty it up. I carry my secondary, which is my Smith & Wesson Sigma. It's a 40 caliber. So I guess it just depends what we're doing. Sometimes I've gotten weird and just brought a revolver or something to, but it's usually between those two.
Yeah,
those are my faves. Eddie's
guns are always what people catch when. We've mentioned that in videos and live streams in the past. Sometimes we'll go and we won't find anything interesting, but we'll get some interesting banter, conversations or some good scenes or some good travel footage, and we'll save that and we'll just wear the same clothes and we'll edit like 2 or 3 trips into one video. And Eddie's always wearing a different gun, and people are like, "Wait, did he switch guns mid-day?"
No. I remember one time it was like one day after the other. I show up, like, "Oh no, I have a different gun on." He's like, "No one cares about that stuff. No one's gonna know." So I'm like, "I don't know." Yeah, yeah. I really like my 1911 though. It's pretty unique in the fact they actually Para doesn't like make them anymore. Para was purchased by Remington, so.
Yeah,
pretty much no longer a thing.
I carry a Glock 23. I have an absurd amount of handguns, and I could carry others, but the Glock, I don't care if it gets muddy. I don't care if it gets packed full of mud. And it's super light, and so that's what I wind up carrying. Let's see. Let's hit some more of these questions before we do another giveaway. We do it for our. I keep saying that first giveaway. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, bad video feed. We can't see that on our end. Everything looks nice and clear and steady over here, so I apologize if that's the way it's coming through on your side. You guys should fix the stream. It's super laggy. I don't know how to do that. Sorry. I did it like the highest quality. And I think that probably if you watch this at a later time, it'll be smoother, but it might right now. Getting Diggy Wit says, "Does your wife ever go detecting with you?" I think she's watching right now, probably. No, she doesn't really go metal detecting with me. We go on hikes and stuff, and we do outdoors things, but she doesn't. She doesn't have much interest in it, which is fine.
One time I got to drag my girlfriend out. We hit the where was it? I just basically wanted some company, and we hit those farm fields.
Yeah.
And she fell in love with Smooch.
Smooch the cow.
The whole time, yeah, she was supposed to be like, just kind of hanging out by me, but no, instead she was off hanging out with the cow all day. And only time I can really get her to come with me was those fields.
My baby boy it will be 3 in February, and he has a little metal detector, but it's still not. He's not even 3 years old yet, so he hasn't really used it.
He needs to grow into the
yeah. But maybe when he gets a little bit older, we'll do a little family thing. We'll all go, and that'll be fun. Let's see. If lots of just kind words. Thank you very much. Coming up that we will be at with a table of some of your memorable finds from Jacob. No, we don't have anything planned unfortunately.
I'm not aware of any even shows around us coming up.
Invite us.
Yeah.
Let people know. People are, hey, it'd be cool if you went and dug with so and so, and said, let them know.
Yeah. Well, we live under a rock, so shoot us a message.
A friend, have you and Eddie teamed up with academic historians to provide cross information or locations? We haven't given up locations, and I know at least a few of the landowners that we've been on their land. They have no interest of having like archaeologists on their property, and they don't want us to let you guys know where we are town-wise, or anybody else for that matter. But way back in 2015 or 2014, I think it was one of my friends. His mom is on the board of this town, and we went to like this open call for metal detectorists at the Bennington Battlefield, which is actually in New York, but it's Hoosick Falls, New York, and we were with maybe a dozen other just metal detectorist people that it was just in the newspaper. You could go, and we got to do like an archaeological dig, and we all got to metal detect this field, and we found musket balls, and we found grape shot. We didn't find any buttons, but I think that there was like a whole weekend thing.
I think there was other groups that they advertised to different towns.
But that was a different experience, because they would take like very precise GPS points for where every item was found, and everything would get bagged and labeled and taken away.
It felt awesome though. I mean, even though we couldn't keep anything or film, I mean, just how excited they got and got to mark things and try to print out trajectories real time of where cannons were, and it's kind of exciting. I mean, just putting our name on the discovery line there feels pretty good. Someone looking on that later.
I think our names are attached to those things
somehow. Yeah, they are. I imagine they're there on site, maybe on display or local museum. I talked to a lot of people about it though, and they said they've never heard of that place ever doing it. Yeah, that sounds like we got pretty lucky.
Jacob says, have you ever thought about doing collaborations with other YouTube folk like Aquachibber, Nugget Noggin, and Quarter? I'd love to, but again, I just have never reached out. If they wanted to reach out to us and hang out with us and do one of those things, that'd be fun. But I always feel weird. I guess we could invite them here, but I always feel weird like writing people like, hey, can I come metal detecting with you guys? Like, I don't know. It just feels intrusive. Ever detect near Valley Forge? Not really. We're just kind of Vermont. We just stick to Vermont.
In and around
southern, southern mid Vermont mostly. When we went to Taunton, Massachusetts, and we stopped halfway in Massachusetts to do some metal detecting, I think that's probably the furthest away from home we've ever metal detected. Yeah, and it was like not very far. It's like 2 hours away. Steve's Auto and Trucks. What kind of guitars hanging on the wall? I'm a musician. I've got a whole room of Birdie by Gibson that has a bunch of transplanted parts from a J45. It's a J45 bridge and J45 tuners and a new nut and stuff. And it was all completely refretted, and geeked out about the guitar. That's my favorite. Okay, it's past 8:15. We're gonna do a giveaway. So we have trivia questions again. And the point of this is to give a leg up on folks who have been watching the videos weekly over the summer. Real quick, somebody just asked, do you have a Garrett sponsorship? I don't, but let them know. I could. Okay, so the first thing we're going to give away, we're going to start small and get bigger as we go, is one of our keychains. So we have these leather keychains that I made. I made this stamp. I got it 3D printed. He's going on his keys. I have one of my keys. Mine's upside down. So it's leather. I made this. I cut it out of leather and dyed it and stamped it, and it has pigskin backing. Did you notice that? Yeah. The details here.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so we're going to ask a question. This is how it's going to work. We're looking for a single word answer. So you type, hit enter. The answer is C. It's not always C. Not this time. It's not multiple choice. You gotta type one word is the answer. And I'm gonna ask it, and then it's the first person who answers it correctly is gonna win the keychain. This is an easy one, I think, because it's been referenced in numerous videos. Are we ready?
I think they're ready.
Clive says banana. Nice guess, though. I see where you're going with that. What sound? The chat went away. Okay, it's back. What sound does a Vermont bear make? We're watching the chat for who?
No.
That it was like the second answer. Allison Regan. It's a hoot. Moo? No. I can see them all coming in now. Whoa, there they go.
Goodness, whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoots in there. Allison Regan got it, though, as far as I can tell. So, Allison, send us an email. It's greenmountainmetaldetecting@gmail.com. I just looked at how many people are in here. It's almost 200 people. I just had a little bit of a panic attack.
Oh, boy.
That's more people than I thought was in here.
Yeah.
So, yes, Vermont Bears hoot. We'll talk about the Bears hooting one more time because it's worth mentioning again.
Yeah.
I grew up, all of my family members, and my father especially, we'd be out in the woods and you hear a sound. You hear that? That's a bear. Bear hooting.
Bear hooting in the woods.
My wife had never believed that bears hooted. She grew up in Massachusetts. And then when the whole thing happened with Eddie, where his teacher in Vermont said that bears don't hoot, and I was like...
And this is my wildlife ecology class.
Yeah, I was like, she clearly has never been in the woods. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, sure.
And then I Google it. Turns out it's a very, very common myth in Vermont that bears hoot.
It literally says online, like, for some reason, like, Vermonters think they hoot. Like, it's just a Vermont thing.
And so my wife, this has been an ongoing thing. She picks on me about the bears hooting thing. We moved into our new house 3 years ago, and our neighbor, meeting him, shaking his hand, says, "Oh yeah, don't worry about the bears. You'll hear them hooting up on the ridge." And she's getting a huge kick out of this. And then when I was up at the marble quarry a couple of videos ago, he said that he grew up with all the same stories, and he's like an hour and a half north of us. So it's just a localized Vermont thing.
I would recommend, though, you don't confront a Vermonter and tell him it's untrue. First time I did it, I was met with hostility from this guy. Too. He's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
It's true. I have cousins that are like, the internet is just
complete
wrong.
Disbelief. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I forgot your name already. I'm sorry. The lady.
Allison Regan.
Yes, the lady who won. Shoot us an email, green metal detecting, all the words together @gmail.com, and we'll get you your keychain and it's a couple stickers. You did answer before everybody else. Wait, I answered before they asked the question. Did you really?
Did you?
There's a lag. We couldn't tell. You still got it. Okay. So we're going to go back to the chat and talk about some more things, answer some more questions. Actually, nobody's asked this question yet. I have a few questions that I wrote for us ahead of time because they're things that I wanted to talk about. And since we were just talking about the marble quarry video, I was blown away. Did you see the video? You weren't there.
Yeah, I saw most of it.
Okay. I was blown away by how many people didn't know what sap lines were. The purple tubes running from tree to tree. Everybody said, "What are the sap lines for? What are the sap lines for?" I didn't explain it in the video because I thought it was obvious. Being from Vermont, I guess I thought it was obvious, but it's not for people in like other parts of the world, I guess. So if you saw that video, there are all of these like an absurd amount of tubes connecting maple trees in that video, and there's sap lines for maple sap, which is this, it's like a sugary fluid, tree sap, and it comes through these tubes, and they all go down the mountain into tanks, giant tanks, and then all the sap is collected, and it's boiled down, and it is to make maple syrup. And maple syrup, if you didn't know, is a sugary condiment that you'd put on pancakes. Some people don't know this, which is crazy to me, but some people don't know what maple syrup is.
People put maple syrup on everything around here.
You can put it on ice cream or toast.
Anything.
Yeah, so a lot of people are more familiar, I guess, with like the buckets that hang on the side of a tree with like the old style taps, but like a commercial, business that is making maple syrup, they don't empty buckets. They have those sap lines. You should give away a bottle of Vermont maple syrup. I would, but these things are like $30.
Yeah, they are pretty pricey.
All right, so we'll. I'm seeing questions here of things that we've already answered, so we'll skip past those a little bit. Would you guys ever give away one of your finds as a trivia prize from Hogman? I don't think so. I mean, we could probably give away like flat buttons so when we find things, if the things that don't go to the landowner, I have them all organized by site. I have like the GPS coordinates of where everything came from, because, if my worst fear is something happens to me and then I just have like piles of artifacts that lose all meaning if I don't know where those, or if nobody else knows where those things came from. And I feel like the same thing happens if I get rid of one of those things for like a giveaway. Like, it doesn't have any historical significance, if that makes sense. So probably not. Coins like wheat pennies and stuff probably would, but you don't want a penny. Can you give away Eddie?
I don't know. That'd be expensive shipping.
What do you think it would be, ship an Eddie?
Jeez, I don't know.
Would you get priority?
I feel like, I don't know. I think I'd get caught
class?
up in like, baggage and stuff. They'd be all over that.
Ozzy asks if he can have my Revolutionary War buckle.
Since you said please,
yeah.
I'll send it your way.
Will you show your collection? Susan asks. It's behind this door right here, and I would have to pick up the laptop and bring it up to show you my little room up there. But perhaps when we're snowed in and I run out of video, I'll do one of those. But I said that last year, and I didn't have to do that. I tend to not enjoy making videos inside, so I haven't really done anything like that. Let's see. Janice Wright asks, have you ever found any Civil War relics? Yes, but not from battles, because I always say in videos there was no Civil War activity up here, and everybody corrects me because there was one. I think it was like a bank robbery. It wasn't even really like a battle.
It was. There's a great story that goes with it too. I keep saying we should go up and check it out, but he doesn't believe in these stories. And
we'll save that for a video. Whether it's real or not, we'll make a video out of it. But the Civil War artifacts we find are brought home by veterans in these old home sites. So we will find things like that, but they're not, in a battle context. Show us your Rev War buckle. Everybody's asking about that 53 British Rev War buckle. And I wasn't going to mention this, but I'll mention this. So you remember I was talking about the landowners occasionally don't want anything, or they'll want everything. The Revolutionary War buckle, that landowner said I could keep everything. But turns out the Revolutionary War buckle was quite valuable, and we received some offers which the landowner couldn't turn down. So we wound up selling the Revolutionary War buckle. And if I had my way, I would keep it, and it would be in my treasure room. But the landowner and I wound up selling it and splitting it. unfortunately. But I have a picture of me holding it, and I have the video of me finding it, and I have a very nice photo of it framed,
There you go. That's what
hanging on
counts.
my wall, and a new truck. So. Let's see. Let's answer some more questions. We've got 1 more minute till another giveaway. Have you ever come across any meteorite? I'm not sure. I would know if I did.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. That'd be really interesting, though.
Yeah.
To look more into and stuff.
I know I have, my best friend lives out in New Mexico, and I guess that's a big thing out there, finding meteorites.
Yeah, hunting for like space rock and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any of that out here. And there might be, but I don't know. I don't know anything about meteorite, to be quite honest with you. All right, so we're gonna do another giveaway. It's 8:30. This time, we're gonna give away. You want to go get a drum? We're in a recording studio right now, by the way. We have drums at our disposal. T-shirt. This is the T-shirt, Find Adventure T-shirt that we've had on the website for maybe a year now, and I'm working on another design. It's not very high on my priority list, so it hasn't happened yet, but Find Adventure T-shirt. We have another question. So, everybody, hoot, I like that. So everybody be fair and don't answer until I ask the question, because I can't tell if you're answering before I ask the question because there's a delay. So, well, I'll save that. That's the hardest one. I'll save that for last. Eddie and I, stop answering the question before I even asked it. So on Eddie's and my trip east to Massachusetts, to the treasure show, being a couple guys, we both forgot the same thing, and we had to go to Walmart and buy it. What was the thing that we both forgot and had to buy? Watch the chat. Now, Michelle, we remembered our monkey. We didn't forget that. Swimsuit, toothbrushes. Toothbrushes is what I was looking for. We did forget swimsuits and toothpaste, but toothbrushes is VTF. Sorry, I saw your name, but I can't think of what it is right now.
A flood of toothbrush. Oh my gosh.
It was FL Thunder. I see your comments on my videos.
Oh.
FL Thunder. Yes, toothbrushes. Yes, we both forgot to. Terrible at packing. You know what was what I packed? Nothing. My contacts and maybe one spare pair of clothes because we went digging that day. Shoot an email. The EL Thunder. Yes, I can see it now. We had to scroll up. Shoot me an email. Green Mountain Metal Detecting at gmail.com, and we have sizes from small to 4X now. That was an issue last time. We only had small to extra large, but we've got many X's now. So we can send you one of those, whatever you need. Okay, so that was good. So I have another question here that I did see somebody else ask it, but I don't remember who you were now. The 8 real coin. And it's funny because I found the 8 real and then I titled the video whatever it was, most amazing thing I've ever found. I'll never outdo this. And then like the very next week I found that Revolutionary War era buckle. British buckle. And I was like, oh man, what am I gonna name this video? But so anyway, the 8 real here, I told it on Ken's live show, but I'll tell it again here. It was a roller coaster of emotions because I found it And obviously I was speechless when I found it, and I was very, very excited. And then I got home. You remember, if people who have seen that video may remember that it didn't ring very high. It was like a 70 something. It was very, very odd. I assumed maybe it was on edge. And so I brought it home, and I was started kind of like, you know, you don't clean coins, but I was trying to get most of the dirt off that I could. I said, man, this thing looks really weird. And I wind up, I think I ended up posting it on Facebook group or something, and somebody pointed out to me that it is in fact a counterfeit. It is. I tested it, and it's not silver. It's silver plated. It's a brass alloy. I think it's Tomac. So it's fake. And so I was like, oh my God, it's not even real. It's not even silver, which was disappointing. But then as time went on, turns out that it's better that it's not real, because nobody really knows who was making them, but it's a period counterfeit. It's from like the late 1700s. And the best I can tell from the research that I did, Britain was making them to disrupt Spain's economy. They're in a little bit of a tiff at the moment. And so they were pumping them out. And so that's what that was. And from what I understand, the plating didn't last very long. The plating lasted like maybe a month, and then people were able to figure it out. And I don't know if maybe somebody just tossed it because it was worthless or what, but apparently they're quite a bit more valuable than just a normal 8 real.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I'd be happy with that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it stinks it's not silver, but you know, the historical value kind of outweighs that.
Yeah, the story, something I didn't
silver out there.
Something I didn't know. I learned something. It was exciting in the moment when I found it, that's for sure. But it's still a cool find. It's just as good. Yeah, and it's still a 1700s coin. It just doesn't have to be silver. It was a tactic of war. All right, we're going to go back to the comments, the chat, and answer some more questions. Tell me about the cap. This cap? I think that's what you mean. It's just a hat. I've got like 4 of them. They're all the same. Nothing special about it.
What's up with the torn jeans?
Did they say that too?
Yeah.
Man, the clothes. People focus on the clothes. I don't want to call out his name, but there's a guy who comments on every single video. I mean, I love your videos, but man, those shoes, those toe shoes, I just can't get past the toe shoes.
Hey, I pick on him for the toe shoes too, man.
They're not real toe shoes. The toes aren't isolated. There just happens to be little bumps where the toes are.
I don't know. It looks like it though.
So what if they were? They're moccasins. What they're called is I forget what they were called. They're like hiking moccasins, or like modern moccasins. Would it be cooler if I was wearing leather moccasins?
I just feel like you'd need something more like rugged though. Like, have you ever stepped on a nail or something in them? They just seem so thin, and just, you know, there's no ankle support. It's not for me, but I mean, you know, whatever you mean.
5,000 years ago, I'd be laughing at you, saying he needs these thick things underneath his feet, walking around. What a wimp. They're not toe shoes. They might be ugly, but who cares? I'm in the woods all by myself. Is it cold in that nicely finished basement? Nope, there's heat. It's not actually super cold out yet. It's only maybe the 40s right now. How long have you both, Mark asks, how long have both of you known each other? You were, so I'm a musician. At the time when we met, I was teaching guitar full time, and you were,
I was in middle school.
13?
Was I? Yeah, I guess around 13.
And I was in college. So that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years.
It's 10 years. Wow.
Hogman says, technically I said toothbrush first. I'll take the Teranishi later as a consolation prize. No, I got to keep that. Sorry. He was referencing the strap that I found in the woods that I had lost like 8 years ago or whatever. No, I got to hang on to that. The Oregon History Hunter says the scenery and videography of your videos is second to none. Keep it up, man. Thank you very much. I always get a kick out of when people enjoy, the nature scenes and the walking scenes. Everybody always comments on, oh, it must be so much work going and picking up your camera again. I kind of started, you can actually go back in time through my videos. I started kind of filming all of that stuff because I hadn't really filmed much that day and the video was going to be very short. And I was like, oh, I'm going to film this really pretty tree, or all of the music and the shots and stuff of the nature. Hey, Lyman, 24. How are you? We met for reals at the treasure. It was super cool at the treasure show, meeting all of these people that know us on YouTube.
It was
cool.
It was a little creepy at times, It's not too often people come up to you and already know your name and just, hey,
yeah,
you.
Place a tune. No, I got the day off. Sorry. Avoid the last stream of us just staring at the comments waiting for a question. But this is what we're doing this time. I do have other questions that I can ask ourselves, though. I wasn't sure how many people were going to be here, so I thought maybe if like 5 people were here, I'd just write a bunch of questions for us. What's the total number of spoons you found so far?
Jeez.
I don't know. At least.
I know early.
At least a few.
Quite a few. Because I remember it used to be so scarce. We used to always sing Spoon Man do every time. But there came a point where it got stale. The spoons, became more frequent and we just kind of stopped.
Some trips you don't find any spoons and some trips you find like 4 spoons.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who writes the music in your vids? It's outstanding and it fits. Thank you. I write it all. Eddie and I collaborated on the last one. You haven't seen it yet. The video hasn't been posted yet.
It's fun.
But Eddie and I collaborated, and it'll say it in the description that it's the 2 of us. But yeah, usually earlier videos. So I'm in a recording studio, my recording studio. And in the beginning, I actually used some music of some bands that I had recorded, and I just have the songs on the computer and I ask them permission. And some of the music in videos from like 2015, maybe 2016 is not mine. But everything since is all mine. And I will write the music specifically for the video that I'm editing, and then eventually that song will get reused for other videos in the future. But yeah, I write them all. It sounds more impressive than it is, because typically the songs are only like 15-20 seconds long and they just loop for minutes. It's just a little melody usually, or a little beat, and it's background music, so it doesn't take super long to put together.
Hey, I'm down to collab some more, though.
Yeah.
I was out of music for years, but just recently I was getting back into it a little bit, just fooling around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be fun.
Let's see. Who is the artist making your thumbnail drawings? So here's the story on the thumbnail drawings, and then we're going to do another giveaway. I really wanted to try to make the thumbnails for our videos stand apart from everybody else's. And I started noticing, a lot of people have probably noticed this, that all of the, well, I don't want to say all of, a lot of the YouTube thumbnails for metal detecting now is a coin or whatever the big find was of the day with like a starburst covering, obscuring what the identity of the artifact to make you want to watch the video. And that's what I was doing. And a lot of people are also doing that. And so I wanted to kind of not do that anymore, and make the thumbnails very obviously ours. So when I found the 53 British belt buckle, shoulder buckle, I wanted to have like a good thumbnail for it, because it was like the best thing I've ever found by far. So I know one of my really good friends is, he wouldn't call himself a cartoonist, but he's pretty darn good at it. And so I had him draw it for me. And I actually wrote some music for a video game that he made. And so he owed me. So he made that thumbnail for that video. And then I was like, wow, I really like this thumbnail. This is kind of cool to have this art as a thumbnail.
It definitely stands out.
But he didn't want a weekly job. So I'm drawing them. I am not very good. It takes me a long time. I think it probably takes me longer to make the thumbnail than it does to edit the video. Maybe not. That's an exaggeration. But I am doing my best drawing the thumbnails. If you go back to that Revolutionary War buckle video, that one looks real good. The rest are not so much, but I do my best.
It'll get better, I'm sure, with time, you know.
Okay, so we're going to ask another question. We gave away a keychain and a T-shirt, and now we're going to give away a holster. A holster I make out of leather, and I have a couple different styles, and you get to pick whatever it is you want. People are already guessing. Stop. So these are the pinpointer holsters that I make, and these are the digger holsters that I make. I have another design of digger holsters, but I don't have any of those pre-made to show you. But if you go to the website, there you can see them on there. So it's everything is done by hand. I don't have a sewing machine. It's all hand sewed and dyed and molded to your pinpointer. I've never talked about this, but people place an order on the website for what pinpointer they have, and if I don't own that pinpointer already, I buy it. So I have like 8 pinpointers. So anyway, this one is a White's. I lost it. Here it is. So this is a White's pinpointer holster, and all the holsters are for the pinpointer. It's for that brand pinpointer, and you tell me left-handed, right-handed, and I'll make you a holster. And the same thing with the diggers. This is a Lesh, the standard Lesh, and they go in like this, and that's that. So anyway, so this is for a holster of your choice. One holster, either a digger or a pinpointer, whatever brand that you use. Do you use old Singer sewing machine to lay the stitching? No, I do it all by hand. It's all saddle stitched. Moose. Sam McLeod says moose. It's not moose. All right, so I'm going to pause for a moment and then read the question, and then first person that answers this, it's one word, is going to win. Here it comes. Angle serving case for what fruit? It hasn't caught up yet. Everybody's asked. Yeah. People are answering ahead of time. Banana, Jersey History Hunters. You guys won last time. That's okay. You need a holster. Jersey History Hunters. There all goes the bananas. Michelle, I saw that you did the banana, but it wasn't. We hadn't asked the question yet. Jersey History Hunters, you have my email because you won a T-shirt, I think, on DKs, I think it was. I have terrible memory. But Michelle's saying that she didn't hear the question. She posted an emoji of a banana before we asked the question. If you had just waited 10 seconds, you would have won. Sorry, everybody who said they couldn't hear the question because it was choppy. The answer is banana. It's his. But Eddie has a case for bananas. Do you have it with you?
I have one in my car, actually. I have a couple of them on now.
Cool. So you can holster, just send me an email for what color leather, what digger or pinpointer, what brand is, left hip, right hip, all that information, color stitching, and I'll make you one. Ken says mine was before New Jersey. Let me scroll up, Ken. People are saying Indian pipes, toothbrushes, bear, ATV, and then Jersey History Hunter says banana. And then Ken says banana for people after. So it looks like it's Jersey History Hunters. Confirmation on our chat. Everybody's complaining because they said they answered first. I can just say that I can see on my chat that Jersey History. I'll take a screenshot for everybody. Not that I can show you right now, but can you confirm it?
Yeah.
Yeah. My chat says Indian pipe, toothbrush, bear, ATV, Jersey History Hunter says banana. Treva says banana. Bucktail says banana.
Mm.
And then Ken Allen says banana. Sam McLeod says apple. Where were you on that one, Sam? Okay. I apologize if it's scratchy, if it's choppy, all that stuff. If for some reason the chat's out of order.
Yeah, I don't know how to clean that up.
Okay. So we're gonna go back to questions for a little while. I wanted to mention I'm excited about a video coming up. Eddie, do you want to talk about your trip to Florida a little bit, or no? Just that you went?
Yeah, I went to Florida recently. My girlfriend had some family living down there that was affected by the storm, so we just kind of went to help pick up and stuff like that. Looked around. It's pretty chaotic, pretty crazy.
Yeah. So Eddie had a last minute trip, and I brought another buddy with me, and we found gold. I'm so excited about it. I have it right here. Everybody's gonna laugh. Maybe I shouldn't show you how much we found. It's right here, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hear this? Can you hear it?
Smells like treasure.
So we found gold. We went gold panning. We also went metal detecting that day, and there's some silver was found, and I filmed it, and it was a great day, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with everybody. And that's going to be 2 weeks from today. That'll be the first kind of winter video.
I'm jealous. Wish I can go.
It's an open invitation, so we're going to go again. But as you'll see in the video, you have to stand in the river, and man,
yeah, it's getting a little chilly for that now.
I couldn't do it very long, to be honest with you. I gave up. I threw in the hat.
Glad you held onto the bottle this time too.
Yeah, I got a different bottle. Eddie will never let me live this down. I will say though, Eddie.
Yeah.
So Eddie and I have this ongoing story. He and I started gold panning in a river in our hometown, which isn't known to have gold.
Mm-hmm.
We found a little, and it was in a little vial with water in it, and it was in my truck, and it froze, and it cracked.
When you say a little though, this is like a whole summer's worth of like gold panning. I mean, we had a lot of unfruitful trips.
It was less than this.
It was still our first gold, you know. It's sentimental.
And what I was going to say is I don't think that was gold.
What?
I don't think it was. When I saw that in the pan, it was a different feeling.
Really?
Yeah.
So now our gold didn't feel like gold?
I don't think that was gold, no.
I don't know.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Fair, yeah.
We didn't know where to get the dirt. You'll see in the video that I spent a good 40 minutes digging in a place where I thought maybe there'd be gold. I didn't find any. And then the guy that brought us showed me where to dig. And I found gold first pan. So anyway, maybe it was.
Possible, I don't know.
I don't think it was.
It looked like, well, what else looks like gold in there though? Is there?
I think there's a lot of things that look like gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But I
but
mean,
the gold is very obvious when you see it.
I
It's
mean,
like
but I
it
think our method was
glows.
spot on enough where, you know, I mean, it's still the most dense thing in the river, so it floats to the bottom.
Maybe it was. Maybe it's worth a try in our hometown again. But so anyway, let's see. Iron pyrite, maybe pyrite, probably. It was shiny and it was yellowish, but
Was pyrite in rivers though?
these people seem to think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
Lost Space says, any idea when you think you'll have to stop digging? Is the outlook favorable for now? Yeah, so I mentioned this right when we started streaming, but I don't know if everybody was here. The goal right now, the reason that we start going every other week as early as November is because I'm still going to go metal detecting every week and try to build up a library of videos to get us to spring. Because usually we don't always have a white Christmas. Sometimes we do. Usually January 1st is a good date to say, all right, we're not going to be able to get out in the mountains by that point. So I've got like a good 2 months to like start kind of building up a library of videos to hopefully get us to May. But right now it was pretty warm today. It was like it's like 45, 50 degrees today.
It wasn't bad at all.
So yeah, so it's good for now, but you never know. There was the 4th of October storm and whatever it was, 86, and winter started early. Sometimes it does that.
There's gold in them hills.
So you'll see, I don't want to give away the whole video before it's aired, but there's a gold mine on that river too.
Yeah.
From the 1800s. We didn't make it up to the gold mine, but that's for another day. Susan says, did you ever find anything in that lake you have dived? I think in that video we found stuff. In the rest of that video, we were finding stuff, metal detecting on the shore. But that was the same lake where I found the revolver in the lake when it was down. So we found some stuff, but not diving. And actually, if folks who follow me on Instagram, I went back to that place where I was diving. I went underwater and I was looking at all the stone walls and stuff. And I saw the cellar was exposed. The water was down low enough where that cellar, which I didn't find when I was diving, was out of the water. And it was pretty cool. I posted a picture of it there. And the creepiest thing to me was there was an open well. And I feel like if I saw that snorkeling, an open well, just like a deep hole of water.
Oh, that's creepy.
It seems a little creepy. Something could be down there, come back at me.
Gravity yanks you down.
Al S. I get this question every video at least. What metal detector and pinpointer would you suggest for first timers? That question, what metal detector should I buy? Everybody asks it and I never answer it for two reasons. One is because Eddie and I you've used 2 metal detectors ever total, right? 3. I've used 3 also total. And it went from $99 Radio Shack to the one that I use now, kind of upgrading each time. And I can't, it's going to depend on your budget. It's going to depend on where you are. If you want to be in saltwater, it depends on so many factors. The answer that I always give is go to your local hobby shop. I bought my metal detector at a hobby shop. Nothing against buying online from, reputable metal detecting websites, but I bought mine at a hobby shop, mom and pop shop. Go to your local mom and pop shop, talk to them, ask them what people in the area are also using, tell them what your budget is. Everybody says that they can't understand me because the stream is lagging. Sorry, I'll repeat myself real quick. Rewind. Everybody's buffering. Everybody says lost connection, frozen. So are we back yet? Everybody let us know. We really screwed the pooch on this one.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, no connection.
What?
Video is gone. Same.
What is going on?
Still here. If some people say we're still there, we're gonna wait till everybody's back on board. It's 9 o'clock. Are we back? Refreshed. It's fine. It's good. No sound. Sorry. It's a disaster. Just quit. We're back. All right. Everybody says we're back. Froze. Nope. All right. It may, you know what you can probably do is reduce the quality setting on your screen. That might help. When people ask what metal detector should I buy, I always tell them go to your local mom and pop hobby shop and talk to them about what else they sell to people in the area. Tell them what your budget is, and they will be able to answer your question far more than I or Eddie would be able to.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, I see a lot of people also asking, are you going to use this metal detector? Are you going to use this metal detector? I always get a chuckle out of people who say, you would be finding way more stuff if you were using this brand. Okay. I don't get into the gear debates. The one that Eddie and I both use is the one that we are currently using, and maybe we'll move on and maybe we won't. People are still talking about if the stream is back or not.
Jeez.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. We're going to do the last giveaway.
Boy.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Everybody says theirs is still frozen. We'll wait a couple minutes. Let everybody hit the refresh button. Steven says, who plays guitar? If it's Eddie, please ask him to sing some Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. I don't know what playing guitar and singing Bohemian Rhapsody has to do with each other. But
I'm not entirely sure myself.
So we're just reading the chat here. If you're watching this at a later date, you can open up the chat and watch along and see what everybody's talking about. How do you get in on the giveaway? Well, you're going to have to know the answer to a question that has to do with one of our previous videos this year. What brand of bananas?
I guess usually I'm a Dole boy, but I'll go for whatever. I guess if not, I don't know.
You don't do the Chiquita?
I don't know. I guess for the most part, Dole, I suppose.
You want a fun fact?
Yeah.
Did you ever wonder why banana candy doesn't taste like?
No.
You never wondered that? Did you ever
Maybe
notice
once
that?
upon a time. Yeah.
It's because banana candy uses flavoring that mimics a banana that was the most common, but went extinct.
Really?
And now the common banana that we eat is a different variety, a different what do they call it? Genus. No, that's not the right word. A different species.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's insane.
Look it up.
We ate a banana species out of extinction.
No, there was like a disease. There was like a disease or something.
Jeez.
Strain, yeah.
That's
strain.
horrible.
Thanks, Danny.
That's horrible. Was it better than?
It was, all accounts, it was better.
Oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking. Really, I'm a big banana fan. That's, you know,
Medic Chicky says you've never seen the banana quarantine areas.
No.
We don't have bananas in these parts.
Yeah.
No, we've never seen the banana, but it sounds like it would make a sweet video.
This fact may be outdated, but you know, bananas are America's favorite fruit.
You've mentioned this.
I've seen this years ago. I could be outdated. Don't quote me, but I'm American, and I love bananas. So I think it's that true.
Did you dress up as, Chris asks, did you dress up as a banana for Halloween?
No, I didn't.
All right. So this giveaway is for our new mugs. These have not made it to the website because they all but one sold out at the treasure show. And this is the last one, and I saved it for this to give away. This is a mug. It has the Green Mountain Metal Detecting logo on it. And if you see all this, Nicole Dacey is the potter that made these. She threw them on a, she's a potter. She made it from hand, made it from scratch by hand. And if you'll notice these little flecks down here, it's iron. There's iron in the clay, so you can find it with your metal detector if you needed to.
That's clever.
It looks cool. It's not going to focus close up, but maybe you can see that. There's the ND from Nicole Dacey, and this is the you can see the clay or the iron in the front there. So this is not microwavable safe. Don't put this in your microwave because you'll break something. But this is what we're going to give away today. There's one more question to ask. Everybody's like, don't put it in the microwave. Don't put it in the microwave. There's a lag, clearly.
Be quite sure if we did put it in the microwave, though.
Maybe we should do that. You want to go put it in the microwave?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nah, we'll let somebody enjoy it. Yeah, everybody, if you drop the quality of the video down from like 1080 to or 720 down, it won't be laggy.
Allison says go to 480p and I watch and it's perfect.
It'll depend on your internet connection. They'll figure it out. Here comes the question. Eddie told a story about an angry mob burning down a house because a woman was stealing something. What is the something that this woman was potentially stealing 200 years ago? We're watching the chat. Forks, AJ. AJ Coke, forks. You got it. We found a fork spill. And Eddie, using clairvoyance or something, figured out that this homestead had bananas.
I have an investigative mind. I like to think I just put 2 and 2 together,
AJ, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email at just check and make sure everybody else emailed me, and it looks like you did. So shoot me an email, greenmountainmetaldetecting@gmail.com.
That's such a crazy site, though. I mean, we find a lot of spoons. We do not find a lot of forks, and then to find so many in one small area was kind of nuts.
Yeah, it must have been the fork drawer.
Yeah, it was kind of dull too the last hour, so it was pretty boring. I don't think I've ever been as excited over a fork one. It's a fork, and then you got a fork, I got a fork. It's just so weird.
Yeah,
very weird.
Looking back at all of these answers, and they're not all the same thing like the bananas one was. Coin, butter, buttons, banana,
a lot of
flour,
banana
bread,
guesses.
Honey, thimbles, spoons, pies, chickens. It's great. Michelle says Marty wants a Green Mountain metal detecting hat. I would love one too. And I have a couple family members that have embroidering machines, and they took one of these hats that I have and they embroidered the logo on here, and it just doesn't look very good. It just it
looks kind of off.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to either come up with a slightly different logo for hats or think of something else. You had a good idea where we could sell Velcro patches,
right?
And then you buy your own hat with the felt, and then you could just slap it on. But down the road. I'm still surprised every day that people actually want to buy stuff with the logo on it. It's cool. Can you get the logo on the toes?
That is funny. No one would get that.
No. Play something live before you end. Probably not. You want to play something, Eddie?
Maybe. Do I have a little time to prep?
No, nothing's tuned. And... okay, cool. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to add here from my list. So yeah, I've got some questions. Maybe I'll go through these questions that I had ahead of time that people ask like constantly in the videos, just so that when they ask them again, I can just say, just go check out the fall live chat. I talk all about that stuff at the end. So I'm just going to go down the list. People are always asking about my fingerless gloves. It's the things that I wear that people just, the fingerless gloves, the holes in my jeans, my stupid shoes, my hat. What else? What else could I possibly be wearing that people comment on? My bags and stuff, I guess, people always talk about. So anyway, the fingerless gloves, why even bother wearing them? Because, you know, they don't protect the tips of your fingers. Well, I wore full gloves for a while, and I had to take them off every single time I wanted to use my phone, which is all the time if I'm like using GPS or, you know, taking pictures of finds and stuff. It was nonstop. I was having to take my gloves off, put them back on again. And people are always commenting on our videos when we find a coin and we're cleaning it up. Don't rub your coins. You're going to scratch the coins. I feel that way when I watch videos of people with gloves on doing that, because the gloves are just coated in mud and it's yeah. When if I don't have material on the tips of my fingers, I can tell if there's a rock in between my thumb and the coin or not, and I can clean them off. And so I don't have tips on my gloves. And so people say, well, why even wear this at all? And it's because my wedding ring gives me blisters when I shovel or ride the four-wheeler or pretty much everything. So that's why I wear the gloves. You take your wedding ring off? Nah. Yeah. I haven't yet. I'm not going to now. So anyway, so that's why I wear fingerless gloves. And Eddie was just admiring my pile down here, my backups. You want to show them?
Yeah, I got some interesting stuff here.
We're gonna go deep into fingerless gloves.
I dig
here.
These. They have a sweet look.
So I've got these on tap to use next. They say adventure on them. They're my adventure gloves. I haven't actually worn them because they're pretty tacky. They say adventure on them. But
these are pretty neat.
Yeah, those are some adventure gloves. And these are my tactical gloves. I bought these both at the same time to try to figure out which ones are better. But these are a little bit too, like I'm going to get in a street fight with these.
No, they don't have the hard knuckles. That's the
maybe these are my
defining characteristic.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got a little collection of fingerless gloves.
Pretty cool. I think last time we went up that mountain, I think I had fingertipless gloves, but that was because of our method of transportation that went unmentioned.
Oh,
may I mention? You're super hesitant to mention it or show it in the video. We're riding mountain bikes, man.
We're riding mountain bikes.
And I don't know why. It's like, no, that's just too weird. We should keep it out of the video. Like, what do you mean, man? It's a bike and a hike. So we rode it so far until, you know, the trails got kind of crazy and hiked the rest of the way.
So I've mentioned it in one of my videos. There's one permission in particular where the easiest way to get there is by mountain bike. But this is why, Eddie, I didn't mention this before, but I filmed myself riding my mountain bike for that video. Yeah. And it looked so dumb. Yeah. It was really dumb.
I tried recording. Yeah. I tried recording at some point. You got a little ahead of me. Yeah. And tried recording in like one hand. I mean, I'm not the greatest bike rider either, but I mean, like I had my arm resting on the handlebar. And when I saw the video after, it was just a lot of like,
I couldn't make it very
It's
cinematic.
crazy.
The writing of the
us riding by, and we can set the camera.
No, I tried that.
I can do
really
my little
dumb.
horn, and we can just.
So anyway, that's what he was getting at. He was wearing fingerless gloves for the mountain bike ride. You may notice in that video that will be a month from now, 2 weeks and 2 weeks. It'll be that one. Eddie is wearing gloves for some of it. Maybe you took them off. I don't remember. There's some discrepancies in the continuity as far as what you're wearing, because he kept on wearing mountain biking stuff, and then I say, all right, take all that stuff off so we can film something. And I didn't every time. But anyway,
it's a shame. It's a shame. Mountain biking it was awesome.
Before we get to more of my little questions here, IS asks, do you invite fans ever? I want to come. We don't. We don't typically invite people we don't know from the internet out into 2 hours into the mountains with us. Hopefully, for obvious reasons. I'm sure you're a super nice person, but we don't know you. And I know other people, other YouTube people usually will on somebody else's property.
Yeah,
there's some liability issues there. And if we were just going out to a cornfield, we would probably do that, but that's not usually what we do. We're riding four-wheelers up into places where there's always the potential of getting injured.
Right.
So typically not. But the last half of this year, we've been invited with viewers to places, and we will gladly do that. Just because if you break your leg, it won't be on us. Okay. So let's go off a couple more questions that I had pre-written. People always ask, don't you ever get lost? No, I've never been lost. Have you ever been lost?
Once when I was really young, but I mean, never when we've been out, you know.
No. Here's the thing that people don't understand is modern cell phones don't need cell service to pick up GPS signal. So as long as your cell phone has electricity, then you'll be able to find your way out. If your phone is dead, you carry a backup battery like we both have. If for some reason the phone gets broken, then we both carry compasses. And if for some reason the phone and the battery and the compass are all shot, you walk down, because we're in the mountains, you walk down, and then you find a stream or a piece, body of water, moving water, which is not hard to do, and you follow it to town.
I mean, worst case scenario too. I mean, I carry a lot of gear, to get us through. If we had to stay out there, I have like a water filter. I've got plenty of like fire starting methods, magnesium, matches, all that. So
yeah,
if it ever came to it,
we're prepared to spend at least a couple nights in the woods.
Yeah,
if we need to. But I don't think it would come to that. Maybe it would. We'll see.
Yeah.
Always situational based.
Yeah.
No, we haven't gotten lost in the woods quite yet. People are saying that the stream is getting choppy again. Nothing we can do on this end, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Okay, a couple more questions that I had pre-prepared, and if anybody asks in the chat that we notice, we'll try to answer them as best as we can. A lot of well wishes, so thanks for that, everybody. People ask, do you worry about ticks? Do you worry about ticks? I mean, do you like stay up at night worrying about ticks?
No.
No.
I mean, for me, usually coming back from like an adventure, I mean, I guess I don't really make it a point to take a quick glance over, but I mean, as soon as I'm in the door, pretty much I grab a change of clothes. I throw my dirty clothes into the washing machine. Right. Straggler I found in me, but it's never really been a grave concern.
So I have maybe 5 immediate family members, like my mother and my uncle and aunt and cousins, that have all had Lyme disease, and they all got Lyme disease from a tick that was brought in by a pet, and they didn't know it was on them, right? It was on them for a few days before they noticed, and that's how they got it. When Eddie and I go out into the woods, we're conscious that there's ticks out there, and we come home and we go through a series of events to make sure that we don't get Lyme disease. So when we get home from an adventure, just like he said, or what I do is I walk in my front door, there's my washing machine. I take off all of my clothes, put them in the washing machine. I take a shower, I look myself over, and then you just have to worry about it.
There was one scare I had one time. Did I tell you about it?
I don't know.
I was straight up convinced I had the red ring they tell you to look out for.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was like super itchy. It just felt really weird. And I went and bugged the heck out of my doctor, who was pretty reluctant to do anything, surprisingly. And I just nagged him into getting me a prescription of doxycycline. It's just an antibiotic. It's harmless, just to be safe. He didn't test the tick or anything, but yeah, I obviously don't have Lyme disease, so I can't say for sure if I had it, but I was convinced it was like Lyme positive.
I also thought I had Lyme disease to the point where I went to the emergency room.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
But it turns out it was just West Nile virus from a mosquito, and it wasn't a fun 24 hours. But here I am. I got it from metal detecting too. I was metal detecting. I got bit by a mosquito with West Nile virus in Vermont. Crazy.
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure I'm on a list now. All right. I just have a couple more of these, and then we'll call it a night. People always ask, how do you clean your finds? How do you clean X, coins, buttons, iron items, and stuff? And I hardly ever answer that in the comments because it takes so long to just write it all out. Oh, well, if it's this way, or if it's this way, then I do this, or I do this. For the most part, I don't really clean anything. Iron, I tried the electrolysis thing, and I just didn't, maybe I wasn't doing it right. I don't know. It just didn't seem to do a whole lot more than just throwing it on a soft bristled wire wheel on a bench grinder would do. Something very, I mean, you hear the word bench grinder and all of a sudden you think there's sparks and stuff. It's just like a brass, very, very soft wheel, and it just takes off the rust and the nodules and stuff. And I feel like that's basically exactly what the electrolysis does. So that's what I usually suggest for iron items. Like the cannonball that I found, I hit it with electrolysis for a long period of time. Didn't really seem like it did anything. So I hit it with a wire wheel, and it looks beautiful now. Brass items, excluding coins like buttons and stuff, I'll show you. I have it here. It's fiberglass. You probably can't tell, but it's like a brush. They're fiberglass pens for cleaning circuit boards, for cleaning traces. And these work really good and really gentle on brass, like buttons and things. People say use toothpicks on brass and copper coins and stuff, but I find that if you press too hard, it burnishes the surface and it leaves streaks, like shiny streaks. So I don't even usually use toothpicks. I use these mostly. I occasionally put things in boiling hydrogen peroxide. Honestly, I don't know if it really does a whole lot. But somebody I also saw earlier say water cleaning. I usually don't use water on anything. I've mentioned this in the past, and I believe Aqua Chigger has a video all about cleaning coppers, how to ruin coppers, I think is what the title of the video is. Mm-hmm. And he made a great point, and it's the one I go by, where if you have like a large set, for example, and you have like the clay or the dirt that's on there, it dries, it turns like a white color, a light tan color. If you wash the coin, all of that goes away and the coin is all the same color. And you can't really make out the detail unless you kind of shine it in the light the right way. But if you leave that dirt in the recesses, in the detail, it looks great, and it's not going to do anything to the coin. So, and I did the same thing with the 53 Revolutionary War buckle. It was green, and if you see the photo of it cleaned up on my Instagram or on the website, all of the text is this nice white color, and it's because that's dirt. I left the dirt in so that you can make out the detail. It looks good that way. So yeah, and for silver, I don't really do anything to it. I might give it a little bit of a wipe with clean fingers, but that's about it. So for everybody who asks in the comments, and I directed you here, that's how I clean stuff. It looks like we went a half an hour past we said we were going to.
I'm shocked.
We expected that.
No, I'm shocked it wasn't more though.
Yeah.
Like,
so I think we're gonna call it a night. Hopefully we answered as many questions as we could, and people had a good time. Thanks for coming, everybody.
yeah.
It seems like it's winding down. We had like 200 people in here, and it's down to like 80. So it seems like maybe it was the stream issues. We'll try to figure that out better for next time.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
So anyway, thanks everybody for swinging by. We'll repeat it one more time. We're reducing down to videos every other Friday to try to make it till May with videos, before it snows. And then even after it does snow, maybe we'll go out adventuring looking for trouble.
Yeah.
In snowshoes.
Those are always
again.
the best trips.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Right.
See ya.
Bye-bye.